Today on Miss Amy's Creations, we're making a sausage gravy casserole. So please join to see how to make it. Hi everybody, welcome back to Miss Amy's Creations. I am doing kind of just a recipe for you today. I thought I'd bring you along while I made our dinner. What we are going to do is make a sausage gravy biscuit casserole. This way you're doing it in the oven. It's a little bit quicker, a little bit easier. I know you have watched me make my sausage gravy before. If not, please go back and watch that video. And also, I am making my simple biscuit recipe. Now, I am using all-purpose flour. So I have a little bit of salt here. I am also, as you can see, and then I am also going to be adding 4.5 teaspoons. Get down. 4.5 teaspoons of baking powder to mine. But if you have self-rising flour, you can use that and eliminate the salt and baking powder. So, I'm just going to mix these together just a little bit to incorporate that baking powder and salt into my flour. Ouch. Then, along with that, you use a 1/2 cup of the oil. I just use vegetable. You can use your favorite. Also, a cup of milk. And that'll be our biscuits. Very simple recipe. On the stove, I have my sauce. There's my, the camera hogs are here. Both of them trying to get up to the camera. I have my sausage browning. I've got that really browned. The only difference with the sausage gravy is I am adding less flour because I want to make this a fairly thin gravy because it is going to bake in the oven a little bit longer. My oven is preheating to 400. You can use 375 to 400. So I'm only adding 2 tablespoons to my sausage of flour. And I'm going to use 2 cups of milk. Generally, you would want to use about 4 tablespoons of flour for that amount of milk. So, as soon as I get these all mixed up, I'll be back to you. Alrighty, I wanted to come back and tell you what I've done. I took my biscuits, I just flattened it out, and basically cut them into squares. I took about half of them and put them in the bottom of my baking pan. Now, this would be really nice done in a cast iron, which I didn't have to put in the oven today. It didn't have one big enough. And it is just me and my husband today, so I only made a small batch. My gravy is finished. I'm just waiting. The first half of the biscuits I put in the oven for 10 minutes to get those started because they're the bottom layer and I want them to be baked the whole way. So we only have a couple minutes to wait for those. But, like I said, just make some squares. If you don't make biscuits, you could use the refrigerator biscuits and just cut them up into like quarters. Use the Grand's biscuits, cut them up in quarters, and put half on the bottom, half on the top, which I will show you before it goes in the oven. I also wanted to give you a little heads up. These cats absolutely love the camera. They will try and climb the camera stand. They will mess up the camera. My husband had to fix the camera when we just came back because it was pointed at the ceiling. They do everything to get to that camera. So if you hear him saying, no, don't do that, or anything like that in the camera, it's because he's telling the cats that they're not allowed to get on it. So that is what that is about. So I am going to grab the biscuits out of the oven that have been baking for 10 minutes. And we'll get this all finished put together.
Go.
Okay. Now, as you can see, these biscuits are not completely done because we want to put this back in the oven for another 20 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I want to put these here. I'm going to go ahead and flip these over. Now, if you were doing this in a cast iron, you wouldn't need to do this. But I'm going to do it to make sure that my biscuits cook evenly on both sides. Watch what I'm doing. Okay, now I'm going to bring over our cast iron full of yummy sausage gravy. And you can see it's still thin, but it will thicken up. So we're going to try and spread this all over these biscuits. And you can make as much gravy as you want. Like I said, this is just for 2 people, so...
Yeah, they look good just like that.
Yeah, we don't need to have a lot. And now on top of this, I'm also going to put some more of our biscuits.
The only thing for me with all this is that I love biscuits and gravy.
Yes, you do.
He
would eat it at least 5-6 times a week. His best friend calls him Biscuit Boy. So this is going to go back in our oven for another 20 minutes and let that gravy thicken up and our biscuits get brown. Now, I wanted to tell you, I'm sorry my oven light burnt out, so I wasn't able to just let you see them in the oven, but I will let you see how it looks when it's all finished. Okay, everything is cooked. Now, of course, you can brown your biscuits as much as you want to, but there is our sausage gravy casserole. So this is something you could make anytime. Now, I also have a quick thing to tell you. I apologize for the sniffling. It is now dandelion picking time, so I've been out picking dandelions to make jelly. And if you'd like to know how to do that, please refer back to my dandelion jelly video. And thank you for joining us. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification button.